Hey guys, what's up? I wanted to go a little bit more in depth talking about Retropie on the Tinkerboard today. Currently at 110 different themed systems and arcade boards. I'm starting right here because these ones are not themed by Hursty and will be by the time it gets released. But right now these are just my own that I threw in. So, Taito F3. I got a couple of games here. The arcade boards that are getting themed are the ones that have larger ROM sets. You know, if there's like 25, 30 games at least, then yes. If there's 5, then no. As you can see, works fine. There's numerous games for this system as well, set of first and second generation. Alright, well, I have to map the controllers here, but as you can see, it works. Oops. Probably has to be MAME. Oh, how embarrassing. I didn't have it set up and ready to go. Oops. There we go. Oh, that actually brings up a good point that I should briefly discuss anyway. Not all ROM sets are equal when it comes to MAME and Final Burn Alpha. And not every MAME will run every ROM. Sometimes, depending on what you're doing, like if you don't get a full set, so you don't know which it belongs to, you're going to have to cycle through a few different versions of MAME and Final Burn Alpha sometimes before you find what will boot the ROM. Don't just try, you know, MAME 2010 and oh, it didn't boot, so it didn't work. There's a good chance that it will with a different version or variant. That happens to me all the time. Sammy said a Visco. Obviously, this is the pre-Atmos Wave system board. I could play with the settings and make it full screen also. I just don't care enough to do so right now for the purposes of making a video for everyone. Jaleco, I think it's called. Jaleco? I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Apparently this particular run has no sound. I pulled it out of a MAME dump, so it might have been one of the bad, or not completed dumps. It is what it is, whatever. Oops. Final Burn Alpha, was it? I think FBA and Neo are pretty much the same thing. Oh geez, which one runs this? Okay, well, apparently this ROM doesn't work, so I'll have to put it in a different video. I was playing it earlier, though, so I do know that it does work. Sorry, I looked down. This video is probably going to be a little longer than usual, by the way. I really wanted to go through and just show people some things that we were working on here. Obviously, you know, Mortal Kombat, all that good stuff. I don't know if Final Burn will run this. Might. So it will. So as you can see, we're making our way through a whole whack of different arcade stuff. I don't remember if I have this one set up yet. I think I might. Ah, good. Okay. This we should talk about. This is messin' Nintendo or NES. The reason for this is because it's capable of doing HD graphics packs, which honestly makes Nintendo look a lot better. So it's been thrown in. This is Japanese Saturn. GX 4000 that was recently added here. So there's that. Sega Y board. I believe I set this one up already. I have no idea how to drive or accelerate. Apparently I have to map the controller. Okay, well, moving on. This is Y system if the other one was X. I'm just giving a brief preview of each system. Konami I'm not done setting up yet, so I'll return to that at a later date. It's a little bit different. I'll talk about it for a minute actually. It's a little bit different than the typical boards because it's not a main board, it's a JAMA board, so there's just some differences to it. I gotta do some stuff before it will run properly. It does boot, but it's laggy. Yeah, when Wonder Boy is the... Yeah. Sega System 1, followed by Sega System 2, and then there's a few more, 16, 24, 32. Anyway, so there's that. I don't remember if I put the right game on here or not. I don't know. Maybe. Hopefully. Yeah. I don't want to play it, but it works. Title Z or Z system. I'm not going to go over every single system in here. I'm just going to go over the ones that are new since, you know. Sega System 18. I was also 16, like I said, 2432. It's very important to remember with MAME that ROM sets do make a difference. Like, for example, if you want the, I think it's 0.375B, you'd want to use MAME 2000. If you get 0.78, then you'd want to use MAME 2003 with it. If you get the one that I've got, which is 0.161, you want to use 2015, sometimes 2010. I think 0.138 also works with 2010, if I'm not mistaken. Final Burn Alpha, most ROM sets will work, but the more recent they are, the more they have in them. Same is true with MAME as well. This game I really like. I played it a lot as a kid growing up. Jurassic Park, arcade version. It's always a game that I really liked. I remember going to the theater to see this movie as a kid. I think I was like 9 or 10 years old. First movie that actually kind of scared me when the T-Rex came and ripped the dude off the toilet there. Sega System 24. Namco System 16. Oh, when I first booted this game, it was sideways. You can go into a menu with the tab button, which is sideways, and you can go into the video options here, and you see rotate. If I rotate it, it'll turn again, and it'll be the wrong way, so I don't want to do that, but that's how you fix it. If you should ever run into that issue. Ooh. May 2015, possibly? That's the other good thing about keeping most of your ROMs from the same set, preferably a more recent one, is that you can pretty much almost always know exactly which emulator you need to use. Sometimes you just don't get that option. Like occasionally you'll find or come across a ROM set that's not available in MAME or Final Burn Alpha. They just won't have the ROM, and at that point you have to go out and find a direct dump of it. And then there's no guarantee as to which emulator, if any, will run it. You're going to have to try a bunch of different ones to figure it out and see which one will work. Also, a lot of times you get those funny graphics before things boot. It's just part of MAME. It's not any reason to... Oh, that was Soul Calibur. I should have played that. Sorry. It's not any reason to be worried, though. It works fine. I don't remember if I set this one up or not. Nope, guess not. Nope. Wants to boot, but something is preventing it. That's what I'm seeing on my end from the failed attempts to boot here. Alright, so let's try something else then. I will move on to the next system in a minute, but it's a good place to show you guys something. Let's see here. Launch with verbose logging. Alright, so that failed. Now we're going to go F4. We're going to go cd / dev. Oh no, wait. Yeah, dev / shm sudo nano run command .log. Alright, now it says, where's the error? Failed to load content. Index counter 4704. Game driver not found. Content path. Panic load unzip. Okay, so I may be missing the MAME BIOS for this particular ROM set. Looks like. Or it just may not like that particular ROM. It may not be. It may be one that I got through Google and it's not an actual MAME ROM. Now, you're going to have to wait through my 40-second load screen now. But as you can see, we're at 110. And it'll grow. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Alright, so where were we? We were just getting into Namco stuff. Oh, I want to talk about all this too. Over the last couple of days, Hursty sat down and added all of these for us to this theme. It's very nice looking. All of it's very nice looking. Hursty did the entire theme actually, except for the stuff at the beginning of the video. As I stated, this is not Hursty's. Well, this one is, but this stuff is not Hursty's right here. Or this. Or this. He'll update it before the next image is released. Aladdin Deck Enhancer. These are, well, they came out for Nintendo. It's a cartridge that plugs into and takes a different cartridge. And they added little enhancements to certain games. Amiga, you guys know what that is. I don't need to go there already. CPC, you should know what that is, I think. This is just the generic arcade category. If you're not the kind of person who wants to have all those different boards and systems separated and keep things organized, you can just use arcade or MAME. It's generic and it'll take all your Final Burn Alpha / MAME ROMs. This was recently added. Bali Astrocade. Should be set up still, I believe. You see where it says Advanced Mess. I don't know if you can see that or not. Advanced Mess and Mess are emulators that you can use. I don't know how to exit this. Uh-oh. Oh, I'm stuck in it now. I can't get out. Oh wait, F7. F7 is what exits Advanced Mess. Okay, so remember that. With Advanced Mess, and I'll have to do another tutorial about this going into deeper detail, but basically the way that it works is that when you set up anything with Emulation Station, you need to set it up in the ES system configuration, which I'm sure you guys already know. That's located in the ETC folder, that Emulation Station. But beyond that, you need to go into opt Retropie configs and set that up in there as well. And if you go through and you look at the Astrocade one, for as an example, when you use a BIOS, FunVision, or which is Creative Vision, will show you as well. But if you go and you look, you can inside of that initialize which BIOS it's going to use and how that's going to function, whether it's going to use a disk, whether it's going to use a cart. You can get all that set up in the config, so that when you attempt to launch this ROM from this particular setup, it automatically knows, okay, so we're going to use this BIOS. And that's what tells MES, okay, you're going to be this system right now. We're going to emulate this system. So if you don't put your BIOS in there, it may not boot. And if you use the wrong BIOS, it may not boot as well. And that's why it's important to read the logs if you get a failed boot attempt. Because what that does is it tells you what's wrong. And a lot of times, not always, but a lot of times, the issue is fixable in some way, shape, or form, but you have to know what it is before you can try to figure it out. This was added recently, and themed by her Steve, we're not going to open this because it's just very simple and, well, I mean, why not actually? Yay, more glitchy graphics. Well, it might actually just be a bad ROM. Yeah, it looks like it might be a bad ROM. Ah, see, that's better. That's not new. I don't think that's new. No, I think we already had that. But this one is new. Atari XEGS. This one was inside of a big batch of other stuff. Oh, that didn't work. Oh wait, am I not supposed to be using mesh for this? Is that what the problem is here? No, I am supposed to be using mesh. What's going on here? I'm not sure if it's not liking the ROMs or if I did something and moved the BIOS. Well, let's just find out actually. Let's do that. Driver not found. Okay, yeah, so I must have moved the BIOS. Oops. Good thing I'm making these videos, huh? I have to watch this later, remember to move the BIOS back. I'll make another video in the next day or two with the XEGS, I guess it is. I don't know. Either game will work. Maybe it won't. Bad ROM. So with XEGS, it uses MES to run. So it obviously needs a BIOS, and it's not there. This, however, does work. That's Atari 800 XL. BBC microcomputer. Using advanced MES. We got Commodore 64, you guys already know about that. Fairchild Channel F is new, but I'm going to take a minute to talk about CDI. I put a little bit of effort into this because, I mean, let's be honest, almost nobody cares about CDI, except me and a few other people out there. The reason is because Mario and Zelda exist here, and they only exist on CDI. What the heck is going on here? I know that these work. Oh, because it's using MAME, not MES. That would be why. Yeah, that's why. Alright, so the CDI is not quite done yet. What I mean by that is when you're on the BIOS menu and stuff, you'll notice the controls pulls slightly to the right. It's not terrible in the game. Just right here, you'll notice that it really pulls. They are working on it. I've spoken to a couple of devs about it, and also we're trying to get it to just run through MAME because it doesn't happen there also, so that might be easier. It'll happen, one way or the other. It'll get sorted. So these two Zelda games and Hotel Mario are wildly different from anything you would expect or have played before.
Zelda, Duke Onkled is under attack by the evil forces of Ganon. I'm going to Gamelon to aid him.
But Father, what if something happens to you?
I'll take the
See, just a very different take on it. I don't know if it's good or bad, or if it's so bad that it becomes good, or what it is, but I kind of like it. Fairchild Channel F. This is kind of fun. It's sort of simple, but I mean, it is what it is, right? It's good fun. It's also good to have. ColecoVision, we all know what that is. All three CPS systems. I don't remember which game it was, but I haven't fully sorted all my ROMs yet. The main ROM that I was talking about earlier, 0161, is like 48,000 ROMs, and it's a lot to sort through. It'll probably take me a while. I just started sorting them out basically enough so that I can do this video for you guys. Talk to you a little bit about what's going on. Dreamcast we've already seen, all those, so not Creative Vision. Creative Vision's new. Yeah, this is Advanced Mess also. So remember, you have to press F7 to exit it. Or map the keys so that you can use your controller. If you don't map it, you won't be able to exit Advanced Mess. At least with the controller, I should say. I don't remember if I put the right boot disk in here. If I didn't, it'll still work. It just won't actually do anything. Like, see, yeah, wrong disk image. The Mac itself is still open. I have access to the console thing, but yeah, gotta have the right boot disk, the right image. MAME. Here we are. This is my. Just watch this for a minute. I'll just show you guys. This is what happens when you've got 47,000 ROMs in one folder. Notice it's taking seconds to go through a letter. Just one letter. I'm still in the W's. And none of the V's. Still in the V's. You get the point. I separated Mega Drive and Mega CD, like the European, Japanese variants here. Because, well, PAL NTSC and not English. Yeah. So they get their own categories now. This is cool. This is Nintendo. I only left one game here for no reason whatsoever. Probably when that doesn't work. Of course. Oh, it didn't even give me a chance to boot an emulator. That's just a bad ROM dump. Okay. Whatever, I've showed this before anyways. It's Nintendo MSU1. I'll have to add this to the video later. It's Super Nintendo with CD quality audio. Is exactly what it is. I'll redo a video with this one right away. I was just playing this earlier. I just took all the other ROMs off to make space for the MAME stuff, and I guess I left one that didn't work. Oops. MSX1 and 2. Oh, this is a retro core. This is definitely fine. N64DD, everyone's asking about this. Status is at, well, we're waiting on the Muppet dev. It won't boot through MESS. It's supposed to, but it doesn't. Watch. And when I try to do things through LR MESS instead of Advanced MESS, I'm using the 0.151 MESS ROM set. Just because people will probably ask. So when you go to Muppet here, it will boot the BIOS Oh, apparently not that one. Where is it? Apparently it doesn't want to play nice right now. One of them boots. I don't remember which one it is, to be completely honest. Aha! There we are. The English hacked one will boot also, but these are just the BIOS. It won't boot the disk yet. As I was saying, it's the Muppin dev. He hasn't had a chance to go back and fix it yet, and it's not the first thing on his priority list. It will get done, just not in the next week. But this is N64DD. You can see Mario running around in the background there through the... It's literally all it happens. It just runs around and does stuff. If you play the English BIOS, the warning about the no disc won't be there, and you can actually watch the logo, but that's as far as you're going to get right now. Naomi, I don't think I have to show this. This has been available for a little while. Oh, PC Engine CD-ROM. I always liked this Japanese system, PC Engine, and TurboGrafx, SuperGrafx, which are both in here, by the way. Regular PC Engine. PCFX. This is a cool system too, actually, for what it was. Sega Pico. I should probably show that for a second. I don't think it matters what, just that it boots. You do have to map controllers a little bit for certain things here. Just a fair warning there. Alright, so PSP Minis, we're all familiar with all this stuff here. So Teleview has been added in. That's just Super NES with, well, it's a little bit different. You'll see when you play it. Sofami Twin Turbo. This is Bandai for the Super Nintendo. It's a special cartridge adapter that plays Bandai games, smaller cartridges. Super Graphics works fine. I'll just boot a ROM real quick here. Vectrex is here. Oh, I should tell you, this is just for whichever title, because I'm only putting in boards, like I said, that have a lot of ROMs to them. If it doesn't have a lot of ROMs, they're not going to get included, most likely. So then the miscellaneous few will just go into the generic category folder. And we're back here. Okay, so that's a more detailed look at what's going on here. As I said, I still gotta get ROMs here. And there was one more thing they didn't want to boot, if I'm not mistaken. What was it? Probably 130XE. That didn't want to boot. I don't remember why, though. Oh no, that wasn't that one. It was for... Which one didn't boot? XEGS? Yep, that was that one. Alright, so apparently I gotta go back in and fix that one. It was working earlier, but I moved my BIOS stuff around. Anyways, it'll be working by the time you guys actually get your hands on this, so not to worry. And I think that was about it. Everything else was good working order. There's 110 different arcade board systems and themes in here. Or arcade boards and systems, I should say. I'll be doing a few more videos as things progress, a little bit more about how to deal with advanced mess in MAME, how to deal with MAME in general, how to add things yourself. Crash and I are looking at some possibilities moving forward so you guys don't have to reflash the image as often, only when we push onto a new OS or something like that, or update the image, update the kernel. But just for things like the new systems that we work on and the new things that we add, we're trying to get it so that you can do an update script or just drag and drop things in over SCP instead of having to flash that image. So yeah, hopefully that'll be done soon as well. It'll make life easier for everyone. Anyways, hope you guys enjoy this new image that's coming out. This will be 108 Epic Edition. As always, I'll talk to you guys again soon, and take care.